Hi, I'm Rayanne Fields. I'm Development Director at Old State House Museum. I'm here today with Revis Edmonds, and he is our historian. And we're talking about presidents that came to visit Arkansas. Today we're going to talk about the Roosevelts. And first is Teddy. I think he came in 1905.
You're right, President Roosevelt visited Arkansas for the first time. He was the first sitting president to ever visit Arkansas. And his visit was about universally welcome except by one prominent political person, and that would have been Jeff Davis, the sitting governor, whose name was, of course, taken from the former Confederate president. There was a large dinner that was held in President Roosevelt's honor during his visit. And one of the guests on the list was Governor Davis, but he point blank refused to attend. He was going to be seated next to Powell Clayton, who was the Reconstruction Republican governor of Arkansas and who was still viewed with a lot of hostility by many Arkansans. So he had a lot of animosity towards Governor Clayton.
Okay, and there was a second visit as well. There was a little incident with the second visit.
Oh yes, he was attempting to make a comeback after serving 8 years in office. He had, during the spring primaries, had actually challenged his former friend and successor, President Taft, for the nomination. Roosevelt lost, but then broke away and formed his own party, the Progressive Party, often known as the Bull Moose Party. He always claimed he was fit as a bull moose. And his trek through Arkansas made a stop in Brinkley. And you would think a president going to Brinkley. Brinkley was such a small town. It had a new train station there, new depot, which is now the museum. He would make a whistle stop address off the back car. After being introduced, he got into his speech, and maybe 3 minutes into it, the train started moving.
Oh no!
The train was on a very strict schedule, which that was not shared with the candidate, and before he could say goodbye, they were headed down the railroad to Little Rock.
All right, so the next one was FDR, right?
Yes, FDR,
Okay, so
1936.
And Eleanor came.
Yes. They were here at the invitation, particularly of Senator Joe T. Robinson, at that time Roosevelt's very close friend and majority leader in the Senate. And he gave Roosevelt an invitation to Arkansas's centennial celebration in 1936. Right. The big event was being held in Hot Springs, and after several events, including the president meeting with polio survivors, he was a polio survivor himself, then of course they get on a train for Little Rock, where they would spend time in Senator Robinson's home. While the president was spending time in Senator Robinson's home, Eleanor, his wife, took a little side trip.
Where'd she go?
Headed for eastern Arkansas, a little place called Dice. And it was kind of a new thing out in the East Arkansas Delta. In fact, it had not even been there a few months. It was an agricultural experiment created by a New Deal agency called the Resettlement Administration. And it created a colony where several hundred families came and resettled. They cleared the land, got it ready to plant a crop. They would grow vegetables and feed their families. And then the government established a town, more or less, for them, with schools.
And we know it now
because of a certain country and western singer whose family was one of the first settlers. And then he was known at that time as J.R. Cash. But now he is Johnny Cash. It was believed that she shook hands with all 2,500 residents of the colony.
What a story. Okay, so this is our conversation in the gallery, and we're glad you joined us today to hear about presidents that visited Arkansas. And you can go to our website because there are blogs that tell you much more about all the presidents that visited Arkansas, and that is on oldstatehouse.com. Hope to see you again at Conversation in the Gallery.